All right. Hey guys, how you doing? Trucker Hank. I've never done a live video before, and you're hearing me now as I do it for the first time. I wanted to go through a few things with my experience in leasing a truck from Lone Mountain Truck Leasing and leasing on the Landstar. So I thought maybe I'd just do it live because I've been putting off a lot of stuff. I'd recorded some stuff, and then um, I got my first truck, or I should say, I got my truck about 3 months ago. Um, and now that I've operated it for about 3 months, I wanted to do. I think this is my fifth video. I'm not sure. I believe this is my. So I was doing Trucker Hank episode 1, episode 2, episode 3, episode 4. Now this is episode 5. What I wanted to do though was take a moment to tell you how things are going for me. And first, let me tell you that when I leased a truck from Lone Mountain Truck Leasing and then leased it to Landstar, that I was very deliberate and I took my time. I did not put myself under a financial schedule or financial pressure and do something I didn't think was good for me. So, number one, let me tell you that when I went to Lone Mountain the first time, I traveled from Phoenix to Las Vegas, Nevada, in my personal vehicle, stayed in a $100 a night hotel, went and saw the truck, the first truck they had set up for me that I'd already put a deposit on, sight unseen, and I drove it. I knew that truck was not for me. See previous videos. I just knew it wasn't for me. There was something wrong with that truck, definitely. Now, I would recommend what you do is you put some money down on a Lone Mountain lease truck. That's great. It's refundable. You haven't signed anything. It's refundable. So go there, drive that truck as if you just picked it up off the lot from the way you saw it when you get there. Go drive it. Do not buy it. Don't sign anything. Drive another one just like it. If they don't have one just like it, drive a different truck. Do that. It's your money. It's your time. Do what you want. If they won't do that with you, fuck them. They will do it with you. Trust me. The lady at Lone Mountain Truck Leasing, even the owner or the owner's daughter, she took the time to call me and talk to me when I got cold feet. They'll talk to you. However, that doesn't mean their employees are going to be 100% forthcoming and easy. Because when I got back and I said, hey, man, there's something wrong with this truck, I could tell from the way they were looking at me, they knew there was something wrong with the truck, but they didn't know what it was. Clueless. I said, hey, go for a ride with me. You know what that piece of crap said to me? I'm service manager in Las Vegas. He said, oh, no, I don't have time for that. Well, fuck you, buddy. I don't have time for you either. Fuck you. But that's life, right? So, what's really funny, as I said, I don't want the truck. And I went out and I started looking at the ones that weren't ready. They hadn't been detailed or anything yet. And I went and saw how they really looked when they came from Swift. That's what I ended up with, was a Swift truck. And that's what you want to do. You want to say, hey, when you get there, you want to say, hey, I don't like these trucks. What do you got that just came in that's not ready for the line yet? And go crawl all over those trucks. And I found one that had been serviced nicely by Swift. And I could tell by the engine there was no oil leaks, had a lot of new parts on it. And then I also had all new brakes all the way around. Had terrible tires and terrible front tires. So I knew I'd get not just new drive tires, I knew I'd get new steer tires as well. So I got 10 new tires. Plus, I started it up, and it wasn't a problem. Been sitting for several days, and it started. Probably been sitting for a couple of weeks. Anyway, that's the one I picked. It took me a week, and I came back a week later. It was a 9-speed, but when I'd asked them to convert it to a 13, and they did. Hey, by the way, there's some people that are claiming on one of my videos that a 13-speed conversion doesn't give you any more top end. It doesn't split the top end, that it just splits the gears as you go up, but it gives you no more top end performance. I thought that it split it to where your top end would be reduced by just a tiny percent, by a small percentage. If anybody knows, tell me, when you convert a 9 to a 13, do you get any more top-end speed? Not that I need any. My Lone Mountain lease truck will do 80 miles an hour at 1650, about 1650, 1700. I don't want to run it that way. I don't do that in Utah. I could do 80 all day long with no problem in the truck. Um, my personal maximum speed when empty is 74. That's my personal. That's what I've chosen. And then, for cruise, I'm not saying I won't do 77 to pass somebody who's doing 73. You know what I mean? And then my personal maximum speed when loaded is about 71, 72 in states that allow it. And in California, my personal cruise control speed is between 60 and 62, depending on how I feel. If I can be in the middle of a 3-truck run, I'll go as fast as the truck in front of me and the one behind me wants to go, within reason. But I don't like to go for 72. And primarily, I would never go over 64, 65 in California. And as far as other split speed limit states, I'm not sure. Anyway, one of the reasons I wanted to talk to you was I did get the truck from Lone Mountain Truck Leasing, and I did lease it on the Landstar. I got a $500 discount on my down payment, so it wasn't necessarily $4,300. I think it was $3,700. And then after I'm with Landstar for 6 months, I've got about 3 months to go. I'll get another $500 off my payment. Now they're going to say, "Hey, you want us to add that to the back?" And I'm going to say, "No, I want you to take it off this month's payment." It's exactly what I'll say. But anyway, when I got the truck, I can tell you this much. They knew that it had a bad heater core because they'd stuffed all the vents full. I mean, I counted, I pulled out nine those little pieces of paper cardboard that are filled with like the cherry smell that they put in, for the nice smelling stuff they put inside when they detail your truck, or that you can get, the hanging things or the little pieces of paper. Well, there was 9 of them stuffed in the vents. And when I took them out, I had turned on the heat when I was driving it in a test drive. I didn't smell anything funny. But when I took all those out, because I couldn't stand the overpowering air freshener scent, they put 9 air fresheners in the vents. And when I took those out, I could clearly smell the coolant coming from the heater core. I ended up changing that myself, but let me tell you, I saved myself about $300 labor because they charge about $450 to do that at Freightliner. It's only an $85 kit. It takes about an hour and a half. All you gotta do is drain the block. There's a hose bib. You can just put a little clear, 1-inch hose or 3/4-inch hose on the bib and open it up and drain it into a couple of 5-gallon buckets that you get it for $2 each at Walmart. You drain about 8 or 9 gallons out of the block. And then when you take the coolant, you don't have to drain the radiator. Don't do that. That's ridiculous. You don't need a giant pan. You just need a couple 5-gallon buckets. And then you just go inside, and it's very easy to see where you replace the heater core. You cut out the original, and you bolt in the new one. It comes with a kit with a new. You literally have to cut with a razor the old one, but you'll see it. And then it even gives you directions on the cover. Cut here, and then you use the kit to replace it. And I put the new one in, and at that point I also replaced some heater hoses and a hose that was on top of the valve cover of the Detroit DD15. It's called. It goes to what a formed aluminum hose, maybe steel. It's rusting, so it couldn't be aluminum. It's steel. But that steel pipe is actually called a shunt pipe. Shunt, SHUNT. If you ever need the one that's on top of the valve cover, the little hose. But it's literally a 1-inch heater hose that goes from one part of the steel shunt valve to the other. That does wear out. and a couple little coolant drips like that. When I had taken my Lone Mountain truck over to W.W. Williams for a dyno test, it was very it came back good, you know, uh, well within the power specs. And then also they had a history of work they'd done on it when it belonged to Swift, and a lot of major parts had been replaced. So that made me want the truck. Um, 10 new tires, lots of new parts, the air compressor, the air conditioning compressor, all kind of parts that are related to the oil. The rear main seal, that was huge. When I saw that had been replaced, I'm like, okay, they had to pull the tranny. They had to do a lot of work to get to that. That's a good thing. That's done. Um, and so, oh, by the way, I put about 33,000 miles in 3 months. So at 20,000 miles, I personally service the truck every 20,000 miles. Detroit says I can wait 50. I'm not going to wait to 50. And the oil started getting black, and it didn't burn a drop. It didn't lose a drop. In 22,000 miles, I changed it at 22,000 miles. And I also did the fuel filters, which were not dirty. But when you lease with Landstar, when you go to Petro or TA, uh, their basic oil change service is like $229 at most places. Well, when you're with Landstar, you can get the one that's normally like $289 or $299. Because you're with Landstar, you get a discount. You get the premium service that includes the oil filters and one or two fuel filters um, for less than $229. They're less than the basic oil change price. But don't let Petro or TA rip you off on that. They're going to try and charge you another 50, $60, maybe even $100 because you have extra filters. If you get the 3 filter fuel filter, and then was it 3 filters? Yeah, and then 1 oil filter. So anyway, 4 filters. If you get the premium service and don't do the fuel filters, tell them no, you want credit for the fuel filters you didn't use. So you can get down to about $199 for just an oil change with an oil filter. Lone Mountain had replaced all the fuel filters, but I did it anyway just to make sure they had. The one that I could see visually was clear, but I did it again anyway. Doesn't matter. I want to do all of them. I do notice something about this DD15. Um, when I fill up with biodiesel in California, at $4 a gallon, but okay, it says 404 at the pump, but I pay about $379 with Landstar. It's still way. I don't like the way the biodiesel makes it run. And you know where I can tell a difference is if I'm idling while I'm sleeping because it's hot out. Yeah, I idle when it sleeps. I don't have a generator. Life goes on. But when I'm sleeping, it it has more of a vibration with the biodiesel. I don't like the biodiesel. When I'm in California, if I don't have enough to get out of California into Oregon, I just add 30 or 40 gallons just to get out of California, and then I fill up in Oregon. Um, and even better if I'm in Arizona, because I'm based in Phoenix and in Seattle. Those are the 2 places I stay. I fill up in Oregon, or I fill up in Arizona. It's got decent sized tanks. I think they're 125s per side on the Swift truck. But when I get the money, I am going to put a couple of 200-gallon tanks so I can tank or fuel where I want it. It's being a Swift truck, it has the fifth wheel placed correctly, and I can haul 45,000 pounds of cargo in a Landstar van with this truck. Um, Obviously, being a Swift truck, it was going to be set up to do that. Something else I'm going to do, and for those of you that understand what I'm saying, that's great. For those of you who don't, that's great too. But it's no longer going to go to California here pretty soon. My 50,000 mile 6-month warranty is going to be up soon. And then that truck's going to have an engine tune-up that is going to reduce back pressure, reduce engine temperatures, reduce turbo pressure at idle, and maybe even make it able for me to have a non-variable geometry turbo if the VGT turbo fails, because I'm going to get a tune-up, but I'm not going to be going back to California when I do. That's going to take the life expectancy of this engine that still has less than 500,000 miles on it, and it's going to extend it. I don't want to be rebuilding the engine at 650 or 750,000 miles. It can go to 1 million if you stop heating it up before you get to 800,000 miles. And it really is the heat and the back pressure. You know, it's putting out 18 pounds of boost at idle just to put up with all the back pressure from the DPF and everything else. And, you know, whatever. I'm not saying I'm going to do anything illegal. I'm just getting a tune-up. For those of you that understand, great. For those of you that are trolls or weirdos or don't really understand real life, you go fuck yourself. Okay, thank you. So, anyway, I did want to say one thing. My settlements with Landstar are 100% up to me. When I take a few days off, I may see a settlement that I don't like. But that's because I chose to do that. But I choose to run long and hard and then take off a week, and then run long and hard and take off a week. Now, that's not taking off a week. I spent 3 or 4 days getting my truck ready. Now, my truck was not prime and beautiful when I first got it. I mean, I wanted to add a refrigerator. I wanted to add a little slow cooker. I wanted to add an inverter. And I have added a real refrigerator, although it's cooler style. Runs on 12 volts, pulls 4.5 amps. It's a real refrigerator. And I have added a slow cooker, a 12-volt slow cooker, a 12-volt water heater for boiling the water. And then I did add a 2,000-watt inverter. And that's a modified sine wave inverter, but it runs everything I want it to run. It doesn't make any noise. It runs a vacuum cleaner. It runs a 1,000-watt microwave, which is probably pulling 1,800 watts, 1,500 watts. I don't know how many it's pulling, but it's a 1,000-watt microwave. It runs the appliances I want it to run. And then with Landstar, I can get the rates I want to get. Yes, I get 65% pulling a Landstar trailer. But Landstar is providing me with a network of load opportunities that's significant. Now, when I want to get my own authority, yeah, I'm going to do that. But I'm only going to do that when I can get with another guy that partners with me, and we can split the cost of owning the authority. I see solo guys running their own authority, and they are paying the entire $20,000 a year it costs to have your own authority. Don't let them bullshit you. They'll say it's $15,000 or $16,000 a year. It's $20,000 a year to have your own authority for a single truck. Figures $20,000 a year to be safe. But if you have 2 trucks on that insurance, it does not double it up to $40,000. It may up it to 25, 26, maybe even 28. But now you're splitting that 25. You know, you're splitting it to 12.5 each a year. So you can run with 2. Now, if you can run with 4 guys, splitting a small company that have your own authority and each run your own way, don't even worry about customers yet, right? It may be 30 or 35,000 a year for the 4 trucks total with your own authority. Let's even say it was 40,000 and be outrageous about it. That's only 10,000 each per year. That's less than $1,000 a month now. So it's the economy of scale. When I can meet 2 or more people I can trust and we can get into having our own authority, then and splitting the cost, I think I'm going to definitely do it. And then, of course, I'll still be going back to Landstar. But at that point, when you get 3 or 4 trucks, now you might even be able to service some small customers, especially if you're all in the same geographic area or location. Anyway, it's a great day. I'm up here in Seattle, Washington. Hi to everybody. I think that I'm not going to recommend you go to Lone Mountain Truck Leasing because I don't think I know enough to recommend anybody do anything. But I'm telling you, my experience so far is that I make money. Now, the truck, you need to put money away for maintenance. It's going to break. It's going to break trucks break. But also, if you take it into Freightliner and you have it checked out, and you get your regular inspection that Landstar requires you to get every 3 months, you or is it every 4 months? But anyway, they require you to get an annual inspection every 3 or 4 months, and they pay for it as long as they pay for it as long as you get it on time. Um, you're going to be happy with your vehicle because you're going to find things if you get it inspected regularly. When you get the maintenance done at Freightliner or even Petro or you get your regular Landstar inspection, if they find something wrong with the truck, you're going to fix it then, and you don't let the inspectors find it in California. I hate those guys, or anywhere else. Hey guys, tell me what your experiences are. I heard today a guy tell me, hey, if you want to come down there, that's great, but there's some loads in Louisiana. I don't know if you want to go to Louisiana or not. Is there a reason I don't want to go to Louisiana? I've never known I shouldn't go to Louisiana. Is that like the California of the South? I always thought Georgia was the California of the South. Um, I've had good luck in South Carolina, North Carolina, Virginia. Uh, had some problems in New York once, but they weren't major. I got out of there. Um, yeah, I got shut down once in California for a missing lug nut on a trailer. I'll never forget that. And it was just one, and it was, ugh. Anyway. Um, things are going good. I'd recommend definitely leasing with Landstar if you're a first-time owner-operator, or you are an owner-operator that wants to transition from somebody else telling you what to do all the time to you telling you what to do. Now, you have to be willing to tell you what to do, because if you say, hey, I'm going to sit here and drink beer all weekend and not even look for a load to leave on Monday, and then I'm not going to call anybody, and I'm not going to be on the phone, and I'm not going to be looking at the load board, then you're not going to work. It's only up to you. But you can always find work. I'm in Seattle, okay, and Landstar is not good for getting me out of the Northwest. But I've still found work that'll get me back down to Phoenix, and then back. And until I move up here, I'm going to be doing lots of that back and forth. But I'm actually in the transition period where I'm moving from uh, Phoenix, Arizona, to the Seattle area, the northwest of Washington. Um, if anybody's got any truck parking up in the Northwest or even Central Washington, I would like to hear about it. Land for sale in Central Washington, maybe even Oregon, maybe even Idaho. Let me know about it. Um, I'm interested. I am going to probably be using Landstar to build my fleet, at least initially. I could see myself having 10 trucks here. And I could see myself taking that and expanding it with some other guys, especially with some partners. Anyway, guys, it's just my thoughts and my rambling. Sorry for taking up so much of your time. Thanks for sticking with me. Uh, Let me see here. What do we got here for a? Oh, that's a nice picture. I think that's nice. Yeah, that's my truck. I think it's a decent truck. Um, I think. Oh, let's look at Truck Dog. And there's Trucker Hank's Truck Dog. She did not come with me on this trip. She is home, anxiously awaiting my return. And I'm anxiously awaiting to see her as well, to be honest with you. Let's see. Um, oh, yeah, I think that's kind of interesting to look at. I'm going to show you this. Not all Landstar trailers are in perfect shape. That's a pretty big dent in that one. I always take a picture of them when I pick them up. And uh, I always um, document any any damage, and I also document the. Uh, why does it have me on mirror? Now you guys can't even read that. That's just stupid. I also document the um, inspection dates with a timestamped and geolocated picture. Anyway, uh, I think that's the place they could do better on is trailer maintenance. They expect you to take the trailers in for maintenance all the time, and they're not offering much for that. They need to up that a little bit because people are going to be like, "You're not paying me to take care of your trailer. You need to take care of your trailer." Um, but other than that, yeah, I think that's all right. Hey guys, thanks a lot. And we'll be seeing you soon. Trucker Hank, have a good one.